This episode of Film Riot is brought to you by Domain.com. Today on Film Riot, we shoot, import, and then export like a champion. Someone who's successful in shiz. They flow with it. Welcome to Film Riot, the show that takes mystery out of the effects and techniques, going to some of your favorite Hollywood films. I'm your host, Ryan Conley. Now, DIY, no low-budget shooting is no easy task. We typically never have enough gear, enough help, or enough time to really get the shot to 100%. So right now, I'm going to talk about one of the things that you could do to help a whole lot in post, and I got an email to justify my love. Hey fellas, I've been hearing about the CineStyle thing a lot. Can you talk about what it is and why I'd want to use it? See, now that's some emailer raid right there. The type of email that makes me want to make an episode responding to the email's inquiry. So that's what I intend to do right now. All right, my sexy ladies and well-dressed fellas, the CineStyle is a picture style made by Technicolor, which, as they say on the site, optimizes the dynamic range in your image. And dynamic range is just the level of dark to bright you can have in your image while still retaining detail. The best way to shoot with any camera, including a DSLR, and the way that I have shot with the Canon 5D up until this point has been with a flat profile, meaning you go into the camera's image settings and turn down the contrast, the saturation, and the sharpening. That way, there is a little image adjustment happening inside the camera, which gives you much more room to work in post. Of course, when it comes to cinematography, you really want to get the look in camera. When I do a big project and I can take more time with it, I like to light and shoot to get my image as close to my final look as possible in camera. But unfortunately, with low, no budget filmmaking, this is rarely an option. Not many of your friends are going to be willing to stand around while you light the scene just right for an hour. Or you may be jumping onto a location for a shoot and need to get in and out as quickly as possible. These are the times that you really need that extra wiggle room in post to be able to take that color as far as you need to. So to show you what I mean here, let's jump to some examples, shall we? Here we have an uncolor corrected shot. This one was done with Canon's neutral profile. Now I'll switch to a new profile. This is my custom picture setting. Still no color correction, but flattened out like I talked about before. And finally, here is the Technicolor picture settings. As you can see, there's far more dynamic range here, tons more info in the shadows and the highlights. So right now, the Technicolor picture style looks very flat and not so great, but the point is to retain as much of the info as you possibly can, so in post, you can push the image as much as possible. So let's do that. First, we have the neutral setting, which is without color correction, and then here we add some color correction on it. Next is my flat profile, again uncorrected, and now corrected. And finally, the Technicolor profile, uncorrected, and then corrected. I was able to do a lot more work with the Technicolor profile because there is more information retained in the image, so I can push the color and the highlights and the lows much more than I could with the other two. And I'm able to do that while still keeping detail in the shadow and highlight area. I was extremely impressed with how big of a difference this profile made when I first started using it. It's a godsend for my image. The ability to get some more detail in my shot is extremely helpful in getting the final look I want in post. Especially if you want a highly stylized look, you really need that extra bit to play with so that you can take your image all the way to the point you need it. Just as a quick example of that, I'll take this shot, which was done with the neutral setting, then the same shot with the same lighting, but this time with the Technicolor profile. Now I'll take them into Final Cut Pro and add some contrast. In the shot, in the neutral profile, I can't go very far at all, but with the Technicolor profile, you have miles to work with in comparison, so I can really dial it in much better. The one downside is that it's easy to expose incorrectly while using this profile. So I took the advice of Shane Hurlbut, and I used the neutral profile, or one that's really close in style to what I want the final to look like, and I use that to light and expose my scene. Then I flip over to the Technicolor profile to shoot with. Shane said to do this, and he is definitely right, because the first profile will give you a better read of your final image so you can see what the lighting exposure is going to be like. Then the Technicolor profile will be able to give you a lot more detail to use in post. But there you have it. That is the Technicolor profile, and the best thing about it is that it's free. The downside, though, is that it is only for Canon DSLRs right now. But if you have one, jump over to the website, technicolor.com/CineStyle, and get your free profile so you can start getting more detail in your videos. Booyah, Grandma. Domain.com wants to tell you about .tv. It's the perfect domain name to start your online video site. After all, who needs television when you got yourself a .tv? What that means is that if you're making any kind of video that you want to showcase off on the web, a .tv domain name is what you need. With .tv websites, you control your content and look more professional than just having a YouTube channel. Want to showcase your work? Get seen on .tv. So here's what you do. Go to domain.com and search for the perfect domain name for you in the .tv arena. Then use the coupon code FILMRIGHT at checkout to save an extra 15%. Then if you need to host your .tv website, check out domain.com's hosting plans. They're less than $6 a month and have everything you need to build, maintain, and promote your site. So remember, when you think domain names, think domain.com. If you got a great idea, it all starts with a great domain, domain.com. We got one, filmriot.tv. Like it. We got tryandfilms.com because we're more than just videos over there, and then we got filmriot.tv doing that video thing a dang. Am I right? Woo! I'm right.
Logo.
On we go to importing your footage. Many peeps have asked me this very question. Ryan, I am shooting with a DSLR, but my footage is very hard to edit with. Do I need to convert it first? And another along the same lines would be, all your videos have really good quality on YouTube. What export settings do you use to keep good quality without a big file size? Let's get to both of those in that order. That exact order, huzzah. So before you edit with DSLR footage, you need to make sure to convert your files to something more edit-friendly first. And there are a lot of ways to do this, but after testing them all, the best way, in my opinion, is also the cheapest, and that is by using Mpeg Streamclip, which is a free program you can download right now. And it is super easy. All you need to do is open Mpeg Streamclip, click List, then Batch List. Now drag all your clips from your card into this window. Once you do that, you will be prompted to tell Mpeg what you want to do. Here you'll be exporting to QuickTime. Then click OK. Now choose where you want to save your files. And now you'll go to get all these options for export. I use Apple ProRes to edit, which I'll boost the quality all the way up. Deselect interlace scaling and click Batch. That's it. Your footage will be imported and you'll be ready to edit. Now for exporting, again, there are many ways to do this, but it's all about what codec you use. And for me, I love H.264. And since I'm just going to web, I usually just use QuickTime Conversion inside of Final Cut Pro. So once you go there to export using QuickTime Conversion, you'll go into Options, set the size you want for your video, and then into Settings. Select H.264 from the dropdown, and I usually put my quality right under High. I find that this works perfectly for exporting for the web. The file size stays low and the quality stays high. But now you're ready to render. And I know I just showed you using Final Cut Pro, but the process is the same in any editor. The buttons are just in different places. So I hope that answered a lot of your questions. Go import and export like crazy.
Logo.
Oh man, what? We're done here. Yep. But there's more goodness to come. We're working on a few really cool things coming in the next few weeks, including the Red episodes. I was hoping to start those this week, but the camera was a bit delayed, but we have it now, so we're doing some sweet BTS of what we're doing with that. A lot of cool stuff with the Red Cam starting next week, but should be a blast-tastic. Until then, you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Ryan_Conley if you do feel so inclined. You can also mosey on over to our Facebook page, and if you do not know, I have posted a teaser poster for Tell on the Try and Films Facebook page. If you aren't following us there, you should be. I'll be posting most of the cool stuff for Tell over there. But I'll see you guys next week when you watch me act like a little kid in a candy store with a new toy, since I now have the delicious Red Epic. Which is not red, by the way, it's black, which is weird.